Hi everyone, it's Mike here and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So it's time for this week's mission inspiration. It's week 18 and the prompt this week is nature. So let me turn over to my overhead camera and I'll show you my art journal page that I'm going to create based on the prompt. All right, so the prompt for this week is nature. So embrace the symphony of Earth's primal rhythms. Like a forest's whisper, heed the call of the wild within. Journey with mindfulness, for in the embrace of nature, find solace, renewal, and connection. Embrace the sacred dance where each leaf, each breeze, whispers secrets of inner peace, harmony, and personal growth. And that is a lovely, lovely sentiment. Right, so I'm going to be working on this side again in my mission inspiration journal. So this is the last page in my first signature. So we'll be starting a brand new signature next week. So what I'll do is I'll just put that to one side for now. But what I need to do is just to quickly measure how big I want my background to be for this. Don't want to use this full sheet. Now this is one of the pages from my new page breaker paper pad, double-sided, but I want this side because it's got that lovely kind of green abstracted background that I think is appropriate for nature. Haven't decided which way around I'm going to have it yet, but I'm kind of leaning towards this side with the circles up at the top. I also want to just do a little bit of layering with some dictionary page. I've got the definition of nature there from the dictionary, and naturalist as well, and naturism, but certainly not going to be getting disrobed for this one. Anyway, so I digress. What I want to do is I want to have a couple of layers of this. So I'm going to have that piece there kind of roughly cut. So I want a piece of the dictionary page coming down from there as well, but I want to be able to see through the paper. So I'm also going to be introducing you to a new thing today. So I've talked about this in my vlog this week. So hopefully if you've been watching that, you'll understand what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the carte noire. So this is a new form of laser cut card, but the beauty of this is that it's black on one side and white on another. So let me just show you this sheet here. There we go. So it's white on one side and black on the other. With abstract shapes like this, it's not a problem. Obviously, if you're using kind of like these ones with the numbers in, then you'll need to paint over the top of that black coating. White primer will work perfectly on all these, as will clear primer if you're wanting to add a colour. Somebody asked me whether it works with inks. Well, of course it works with inks. It's a board. It's a paper-based board, so you can distress ink your heart's content on the white side, obviously. If you want to do the black side, you will have to put a coat of white gesso over the top, and then you can do your ink in. It's not a problem. So, you know, one of those things. And yes, you can paint it as well, which I'll show you in a little while, which means once it's painted, you can also stamp on it as well. So it's a great new medium with different shapes and stuff that I'm going to be using this carte noire. It's posh, it's a blackboard, basically. Blackboard, as opposed to grey board. I'm also going to be using some of my craft ephemera. These are the fern leaves, so we're using some of those in the background as well. But I digress. I will go through most of this. That's how they'll come packaged, by the way. I've got different ones here that I've already got. So I'm going to be using birdies. You can see those. Birdies. I've got some Baroque swirls. You can see the patterns there. Like I said, I've already taken one of these out. I didn't get the power setting right on this one, so this is a tester for me to use just in my project, but that's what they will look like when they come to you. So not burnt at all. Love it. And like I said, there are some birdies, some birdies, as you can see. So for my project, I'm going to be using this one here with the big tall legs. Love him. I think he's great. So they're going to be appearing on the website in the next few days or so. All right, so let's get started. I need a tearing ruler because I want to get some of these, this page kind of torn down. So how big does it need to be? Not a lot, but let's just take it around about there, I think. Just take a little bit off, because what I'm going to need, actually, let's just do it by hand. Let's just do it by hand. So if you're wondering about the weight of these papers in the new paper pads, they are at 170 GSM, which is £115 in US weights, if you like. If you've ever bought any papers, any of the 12x12 or 8x8 paper pads from our friend Mr. Holtz, they're the same weight and the same feel. So yeah, so if you've got those, then you can always just go along and just have a feel of those papers, because they're the same. Because I did compare when these arrived from the printers. So let's chew off some of that first of all. So this is going to be a layered kind of collage. So yeah, happy with that. So let's take a little bit off the top. Using just some of these this new blackboard carte noir items. So we need to go about there. Yeah, the other thing that I love about these papers, and one of the things that I thought it was important for me to get, is the fact that the papers aren't shiny. There's no shine on those at all, and they are such that you can write on them as well. So if I, for example, would help if I actually got a pen that works. Trying to do a demo with a pen doesn't even bloody work. Just run into the West Wing. Hang on, there we go. So I'll use one of my ocean pens. Right, as you can see, you can write on the paper. So I did want it writable as well. All right, so I think we might just need to take a little bit more off the bottom there. Hello, Mr. Nippinut and Mr. Bentley have all come in to see me. Hello, boys. What do you want? I can't play Teddy's darling because Daddy's working. Hey, Daddy's working, isn't he?
Get in here, both of you.
Oh, please, don't shout at them. When you come just to say hello. It's all right, I'll see you in a little while. Oh, bless them. They don't want to play. Right, let's throw that pen away. Okay, so that's going to be my first layer. So let's grab some glue. Just want enough just to kind of tack it down. Don't want to go too mad with the glue. So we'll have that as our base layer. Love that. Love it, love it, love it. And then I want to also include a strip of, we can use the paper tearer on this one, just to kind of get that decal edge. I'll try and keep the word nature in there as well. So love that. That's going to go down there somewhere. I'm going to include this film strip cell, which is, have I got a ruler? Oh, again, I had to tidy up. Can you tell? So this film strip one is 9 centimeters by 9.5. In old money, that's 3.5 by 3 3/4. And on the sheet, you get 2 of those. of the big cells, but also inside I wanted to make sure you got something else. That I didn't want to just waste that bit, so you've got two little half of those little Viewmaster slides as well. So there's a half in each one, and it is a different half in the top one than it is in the bottom one, in case you were wondering. So if you put them both together, you get the full slide master. He says, trying desperately to try and find what he'd done with it. I must have left it on my other desk. I'm not going back again. Right, so what I want to do is to kind of half and half. I want that nature thing down there to stay, but it's also at the top as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it. Rather than cut it, I'm going to fold it to make it smaller so that we get both sections in and layer it like that. So before we go any further, I want to take, shall I just use that in the background or one of the, no, I think we'll use both actually. Right, let me take that to one side. And I'm going to get some white gesso. White. Give that a little bit of a shake up. Now you could paint on this with a brush, or you can use a sponge dauber or one of the distressing things and just spounce on it if you wanted to. Shall I demo that? Shall I show you? Here we go. So I've got a sponge re-ink kind of foam. I've got some white gesso there. Okay. And then you can just bounce over the top. Now the reason I'm not using the white side is because I want this kind of orientation. So just layer a little bit of white gesso over that. Let me just get a little bit more paint. Give it a bit of a shake. I'm nearly out of gesso. I really need to go with begging bowl in hand to our friends at Indigo Blue, see if I can get some more. So there you go. So you can see just by going really lightly and spouncing with a sponge on that carte noire that you can cover the black, and it's not separating, it's not delaminating or anything like that, and because it is card, it will dry pretty darn quick. All right, so I've managed to get it all over my hands now. Oh, such a messy. Anyway, by the time we've tidied and cleared up, tell you what, let me have a quick tidy up and clear up and I'll be right back. Alright, so I've had a clean and a tidy up. That is now completely dry, and you've just caught me kind of, or joined with me again, as I was just auditioning some of these craft ephemera fern leaves, which are on the website now. Just kind of deciding where that cluster needs to go. I think I'm going to do it about there, but I don't want to lose that bit there, so I think I'm going to just move that up there a little bit, like so. You are still going to be able to see some of this underneath, so that's good. I'm keeping that black, by the way. I'm not changing that. I like that colour. So what I want to do is just add some green colour to these leaves. Before I do that, let's stick down this piece of dictionary. I went a little bit French then, didn't I? Mon ami. Ah mais oui. Ah bien sûr. Right, so let's flip that over. I'll stop doing it now because I don't want to offend any French people. Okay, so we'll stick that down there. So now we know we're going to be building the composition there, sort of in the middle. So let's just move that to one side. Let's bring back that Baroque flourish. Now what we've got here, we've got pistachio. How much of this is left? Not a lot. All right, I'm going to use the same sponge that I had with the gesso, mainly because I don't mind if it lightens the paint up a little bit. It's gonna look nice and creamy. And it doesn't matter if I get any kind of white bits in there. I don't want it totally perfect. Bring that over there, and then let's have some of those fern leaves. These being craft paper as well, so these are a lot lighter and a lot more delicate than the card, because these are literally just craft. It's thicker cardstock. Have I just used the right ones there? I think so. It's thicker than like ordinary paper, but thinner than anything else that we've used so far. Right, so that's that there. And then let's come in with a darker green. So this is olive waistcoat. This is newer as well, so we'll, there we go. So this is a darker green. And then what I'm going to do is with the brush is literally just mix. And then I'm going to go up the middles. Just to kind of vary the colour a little bit. Now then, is that olive waistcoat, is it matte? So it just seems it's a little bit translucent to that. It's probably because I've not shook it up very much. So I'm just going to go up the middle. Just gently with the brush. Just to kind of give it a little bit of a two-tone. And then the same with the Baroque flourish. Just to kind of give it a little bit of depth and variation. Just stipple it on. Yeah, I really should have given that olive waistcoat a really good shake up before using it. It's the thing with these paints, because if they're just sitting on the shelf for a while, they do tend to separate. And that's the same with any paint, really, no matter how expensive they are. It's just the nature of the beast. So it's always a good idea to give them a shake up. Sometimes it has been known that paints will, once they're exposed to the air, dry up as well. Like I said, that's just the nature of the beast. Okay. Let me have a quick tidy up, a quick wipe up and a dry, and then I'll be right back. Just drop it in some water. Right, so those are all dry now. So let's tackle the bird now that, well, since we've still got the paints out. So let me just pop out. So the trick with these is just to hold it up to the light, and you can see where the tabs are that are holding in your little birds. If you hold it up, you can just see where they are. Obviously I can't show you because I haven't got a light between me and you. So, and then all I'm going to do is just take a little bit of a emery board, just give it a real gentle rub in between, and there we go, there's our bird. I'm going to be using the white side of the bird on this one, so I'm going to use clotted cream. These are all indigo blue paints, by the way. Mine are still in development. As soon as they're ready, I will let you know, and I will be having a couple of neutrals in there. One of them is a nice cream colour. It's not as deep as this, it's just a nice kind of light cream colour, off-white if you like. This one's a bit more yellowy, so I'm just going to paint little birdie's legs and feet. Not going for hyperrealism with this. Don't really think it's necessary. Oh, actually I should really do its beak as well, shouldn't I? Just using the same colour. There we go. Alright, so that's birdie's beak and legs. Come on. Quick tidy. And then I'm going to go with a lighter brown. Give it a shake. So this one's warm tan, again from indigo blue. So I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the leaves on this one, and just stipple that brown, just kind of, actually let's just go right up. I can always come back in. So we'll just go up to there. Tiny little bit. You don't really need a lot of the paint. There we go. And like I said, this stuff, because it is a board, the paints will soak in quite quickly. You can gesso if you want to beforehand, or not, as the case may be. So I'm going to take a little bit of that darker colour. So this is the, I think it's called Hot Cocoa. It is Hot Cocoa. And just lightly just put a few brush strokes in, just to kind of darken that up a little bit. It's really just to add a little bit of variation in the colour. Just add a few of those brush strokes in there. There we go. Okay. And then let's get another sponge. So normally I would go and wash these out and reuse them again, but they'll last for a few minutes or until you're ready. So now just take a little bit of that red, give it a shake it to wake it, and then just take some of the red. There we go. And then what I'll do is just grab a piece of scrap paper We've got a bit of scrap. Yeah. Bit of scrap paper, just to kind of protect those legs a little bit. Just turn that around. See, I should have protected those legs a bit better. That's all right. We can come back in a minute. I'll do. Like I said, I'm not going for hyperrealism. That wasn't the intention. And then just to do a little bit of a tidy up, if you like, get another small brush. Clean it off. Where's that clotted cream? Again. There we go, just on that leg. And then I think what I'll do, just take a little bit of that brown, tiny bit of the brown, and then just add just a little bit to the legs and feet. There we go. I think just about done. I might just take a little bit more of that hot cocoa actually. It doesn't matter if you blend these paints. There we go. Let's just go over where we were. That'll do. Like I said many times, I'm not going for photorealism. Just cute. Right, so those two sponges I can quickly just drop in some water and I can wash those out and they can be reused at a later date. So again, we'll just have a quick tidy up, a quick clean up, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so now that we've got all our elements that we need to use, time to start building up the composition. So we said about it up there for the leaves. Let me just twist that around a little bit. Bring that frame back in so we know where we're going. So I want that to come about there, just for a bit of difference in texture. And that one can go. So let's put the fern leaf on first, then the baroque flower, almost like the acanthus leaf, and then that fern leaf can go about there, and then the frame can sit like that, and the birdie can sit just like so. Like it. All right, let's do it. Let's do this thing. All right, so glue. So a little bit of glue down there. I'm not really bothered about getting all the leaves. That's fine. So I'm just going to commit. And then the baroque. Can always apply a little bit of weight on these if necessary, just to kind of hold it down. Put a heavy pot of texture paste or something over the top. Just manoeuvre that a little bit. I'll do, and then that can go like so. Just like that. And then we can get our film cell. I'll do the same thing, just put a little bit of glue. I've not done anything to this, it's literally just exactly as it is from the sheet. There we go. Just stick that down. And then the birdie. Now before we stick the birdie down, I just want to give it a little bit of an eye. That's better. And then flip it over. And I think just a little bit just on the frame. Just a tiny bit on the beak. Just to kind of hold it in place. Now don't forget that this PVA will dry clear. And then if you're worried about the glue, just get a brush and you can always just remove any squidges that you think might pop out. There we go. So what I'll do is I'll just put a little something on there just for the minute, and then I'll be back in a little while. Everything's had a few minutes to kind of dry and stick and take hold. While it was, I just did another little fern leaf that I just painted using the same colours again. And this time I'm just going to add a little bit of glue just up the middle again, because I think it might just need a little piece tucking in just there. Just to bring that foliage from the back to the front again. I've also got a little bit of a quote. So, nature is not a place to visit, it's home. And I'm just going to go around the edges. Just putting a little bit of distress. And it's only a small one. Use small lettering because I don't particularly want to. I don't want to overpower the page. Okay, so let's grab. I'm going to put that bit. A little bit of glue. I'm going to put it actually on the leaf. And the other two bits can go towards the top, just to kind of complete the journey. That's it. There we go. I like it. So what I want to do is just the tiniest little dot, just to complete our little birdie's eye. I like it. I like that a lot. That'll do nicely. So that is my little art journal page for week 18, which is nature. So I hope you enjoyed watching me create this art journal page. If you have, please take a moment just to give the video a thumbs up, because it really does help me and the channel get noticed. Don't forget you can share the video with your friends as well. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube channel already, you can do so by clicking the button at the end of the video. And don't forget, if you want to join us over in our Mission Inspiration Facebook group for all our weekly art prompts and challenges this year, then that's the URL on the screen, but there is a clickable link below the video. That's all from me for now. I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now. I'd like to say a huge thank you to all of my angels, because without you, these videos would not be possible. And don't forget, you can access your exclusive angel-only content over on my website. There's a link in the description area below. Thank you.